Hello my friends, it's Gabriel with the Last Huntsman channel here, and today I got a really neat blade. It is the Bear Forest Knives Simple Knife. And this one he did kind of specific to me, but they're all generally about the same. But check out this neat looking blade. So without further ado, let's try out the Bear Forest Knives. Alright, so this is the Bear Forest Knives Simple Knife, and that's the model of it, which is basically just his take on a Puuko design. And he has a few different variants of this. He has a Scandi grind version, that's what this one is, and has a saber grind. I was really considering doing the saber grind because I'm generally not much of a Scandi grind type of guy, but I really wanted to try taking a crack at a Scandi grind again. This one is made in 52-100 steel. The handles are white oak, which, I mean, this knife looks really sharp, especially, you know, it has his emblem on there, and then he even put this like kind of Viking style dragon on there. They're really cool. The sheath that he has coming with these, he's making these himself these days, and these sheaths are really really good. I'm really impressed with it, and I like how it comes with the belt clip like as is. I don't really feel like I'd need to change anything with that. Like, that's perfect right out of the box. So let's start testing on this thing. Alright, task I'm going to try with the simple knife here is I'm going to just do some batoning. Now this is like a 4-inch blade, so it's not going to do anything, you know, super huge or spectacular, but I would expect any knife to be able to manage this. So thus far it does pretty decent with the batoning, as long as, you know, it's within its small blade range. Something about a Scandi grind does allow it to have a lot of control. Like I said, several videos, I'm not a big Scandi grind guy. However, I've been wanting to, you know, take a crack at it again. And this one, out of all the Scandi grind knives I've ever owned, this one's probably one of the better ones that I've tried, even better than the LT Wrights that I've tried that's in Scandi grind. And I think part of the reason for that is the Scandi is actually brought up a little higher, so I think it actually has better edge geometry. Not that there's anything ever wrong with an LT Wright, but something else to take note of too is really just bite in a lot and just take out a lot of material if you have to. Just made me a really decent notch. Made me some decent little feathers here. Guess we can try a square notch while I'm at it. popped it most of the way, but not quite all the way there. Made a square notch right there. So yeah, this knife does some decent little carving. Alright, so another task I'm going to try. So I'm just going to do some basic slicing here. This knife really seems to lend itself to just wanting to slice really well. So I'm just going to try some basic slicing here. Oh yeah, this thing just glides right through that wood. Made me a vampire steak. This thing has no problem just gliding right through the wood. Now this is green wood right here, so should cut really well. The thing I like about this knife is, well, I guess this is going to sound kind of cheesy, but just how simple it is. I mean, it is literally just a basic, you know, handle and blade. I guess the only thing that could be problematic for some people, or even, and you know, maybe even limit it from being an EDC knife, would be it has literally no guard on it at all, which, you know, some people would really like that as far as the bushcrafty thing, because you can just get right up on it, but you know, there's literally nothing there to protect your hand either from sliding up. So might be interesting to see a version with like a small little like nub of a guard, like right there in that blank spot. But that's just my thoughts. But overall, this thing slices and dices really well. I'm just trying some more slicing here. This thing really can just dig into that wood really well with that Scandi grind. Kind of reminds me of what Scandi grinds are great for. Alright, so another task I'm going to try is the 90-degree spine. I'm going to try to get some fluff off of this piece of cedar here. This thing works really great. Alright, so another task we're going to try here is using the 90-degree spine to get a fire going. Now I'm not going to start a big fire out here because it's like 85 degrees with humidity. So the task I'm going to try here is I'm just going to try to debark this log here, just in case if like you're ever trying to use it for something to last a little longer, you want to take the bark off of it. And I know this is kind of similar to just slicing I was doing earlier, but this knife just glides through that wood so easy that it's actually kind of fun to use, really. Now, something to make mention too, The ergonomics on this just feels really great in hand. Just the only thing you gotta recognize with the Puuko, and a lot of Puuko fans know this, but they don't have a guard on them of any kind. So, not even like a hump or anything. So you just gotta recognize, you know, keep your hand back and not be a dumbass, pretty much. But and it did a pretty good job at debarking that whole piece log there. Alright, so another task I'm going to try the simple knife on is I'm going to baton down a tree. Now obviously this knife is not chopping anything. This thing's, you know, fairly small knife. It's only an 1/8 inch thick and, you know, small little Puuko type of design. But I'm going to just see if I could use it to take down a tree here. I might have to just chip away at it. There we go. It took a little while to get that down, about 3 minutes, but as you see, this thing, you know, about half the size, or the diameter of this is about half as much as the whole entire knife. So this is probably a little more than what this knife should have been trying to do, but as you all know, I like to push things to the furthest they can go. Alright, so a task I'm going to try with the simple knife here is I'm going to just try using it on some paracord here. I know that seems kind of relatively mundane, but there's a lot of people I see, and I don't know why they think that, it's more so in the military tactical community, that they think you have to have like serrations on a knife to cut through nylon and stuff. And I mean, I could show you, this thing will just glide right through paracord or any other synthetic material really easily. So as long as you have your knife sharp, and speaking of sharp, not only out of the box, but just even using this and putting my own edge on it a little bit and such. These Scandi grinds, I will say that is one major advantage of a Scandi grind, is not only are they easy to sharpen, but to me it seems that they maintain an edge pretty well. And this steel that Bear Force Knives is using, this 52-100, seems like it's pretty decent. I think it's fairly comparable to 1095 from what I understand. Well, my friends, this is the Bear Force Knives Simple. It's one of his main designs that he sells. So these are generally pretty readily available. I know he has it in both a Scandi and a saber grind, so kind of pick your flavor. Overall, I would highly suggest this knife, especially if you're wanting to try something like a Puuko design. I think the design's pretty neat. I kind of really like it. It kind of is a nod towards my Anglo-Saxon / Viking lineage. So to me, it's pretty cool. Especially the way he did that little dragon on there. I think that's a really neat touch. So overall, I would highly suggest this knife. Get out in the woods, guys. Get out in God's green earth. And this is where the real world is, not on social media. Be prepared, both physically and spiritually. God bless, and carry on.